Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Learn Something in English. Today we're embarking on a delightful journey through the world of learning languages. So, grab your walking stick or perhaps a cup of tea and let's set off. Now, in my many years, and trust me, there have been quite a few, I've dabbled in a language or 10. From the romantic whispers of French to the rhythmic beats of Swahili, each language is like a new world waiting to be explored. You might be thinking, with all those wrinkles and that silver mane, how do you keep your brain so sharp? Well, my secret? Learning languages. It's like giving your brain a good old workout. Just like muscles, the more you exercise your brain, the stronger it gets. But let's not get bogged down in the why. Let's dive into the how. First off, immerse yourself. When I was learning Italian, I didn't just stick to books. No, sir. I sang Italian opera in the shower, much to my neighbor's dismay, cooked pasta while chatting with an Italian grandma over the phone, and dreamt of the canals of Venice. Surround yourself with the language, and it'll become a part of you. Now, mistakes. Oh, I've made plenty. Once in Spain, I tried to say I was embarrassed but ended up saying I was pregnant. The key is to laugh it off and learn. Every blunder is a step closer to fluency. Let me share a little story from my travels. I once found myself in a small village in Japan. Armed with my basic Japanese, I tried to ask for directions to the nearest inn. Instead, I ended up complimenting a fisherman's hat and got invited to a local festival. It was an evening filled with laughter, dance, and delightful food. The lesson? Sometimes the wrong words can lead to the most memorable adventures. Now, for those of you thinking, "Old man, I'm too old for this," or "languages aren't my cup of tea," remember this: age is just a number, and passion is the key. I started learning Mandarin at 70, and while I might not be fluent, the joy of ordering my favorite dim sum in the local dialect, priceless. And for the young ones, don't rush. Learning a language is not a race, it's a journey. Enjoy every moment, every word, every mistake, and every triumph. Ah, this cup of Earl Grey takes me back to my time in England. You know, English might be my native tongue, but spending time in the UK taught me that even within a language, there are always new things to discover. The dialects, the slang, the local idioms. For instance, I was once in a little pub in Yorkshire and overheard someone say they were feeling peckish. I thought they had seen a bird or something, but no, it simply means they're a bit hungry. And in Scotland, if someone says you're full of beans, it means you're energetic and lively, not that you've had too much chili for lunch. Now, I've got a little tip for those of you embarking on your language journey. Keep a journal. Every day, jot down a new word or phrase you've learned. Over time, you'll be amazed at how much you've picked up. Plus, it's a wonderful trip down memory lane. And speaking of memories, never underestimate the power of music in language learning. I remember picking up quite a bit of German just by listening to their folk songs. Singing along, even if you're off-key, can help with pronunciation and rhythm. And trust me, it's a lot of fun. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. Languages aren't just about words and grammar. They're windows into different ways of thinking, living, and seeing the world. Every time you speak in another tongue, even if it's just a simple hello, you're reaching across borders and cultures, making the world a little bit smaller and a lot friendlier. So, my dear listeners, as we close today's chapter of Learn Something in English, I encourage you to open your ears, your minds, and your hearts. Dive into the beautiful sea of languages, and who knows, maybe one day we'll bump into each other in some far-off land, chatting away in a language we once knew nothing about. Until then, stay curious, stay passionate, and as always, happy learning.